Hello everyone, I'm Travelle Gaines and we're here today for today's Fitness Roundtable discussion. I'm here with Scott Pensivy, the greatest physical therapist in the world. And today we're going to talk concussions. We're going to talk about the symptoms of concussion and what leads to concussions and how concussions can also cause other injuries. Scott, I know you've seen a lot of concussions. I know you've seen a lot of injuries over your time. What's some of the causes and effects of concussions and how do they affect other parts of the body?
What's interesting, and we're finding that concussions are no longer just a cerebral concussion, that's just the brain. We're finding that there's a correlation between another concussion called the vestibular concussion. Vestibular concussion is you have little crystals in your ears and they get knocked out with trauma. What we find is that there may be a correlation between ACL injuries and vestibular concussions. What we hope to do is we hope to do a pre-testing so that we can look at the inner ear and make sure that there's nothing going on in the inner ear to prevent this ACL injury. If we do pre-screenings and look at their balance and look at whether their inner ear is talking to their muscle correctly, then we're great. But what if we're finding deficits? We can actually treat that inner ear problem and probably prevent an ACL injury. Now, we're not 100% sure on that because our test is very new. It's an idea that I've looked into in the last couple of years, and I really believe that there is a correlation.
And how exactly does this test work?
There's two types of tests, and it takes about an hour to be tested, but actually we put you in a chamber, and they test and they challenge your inner ear.
We do a couple things. We've got a posturography machine. What that does is it's a force plate that you stand on, and then we can manipulate the environment on you. So we can change the surface that you're standing on, we can change the walls moving around you, and so now we get to mess with your body's sense of where it's at in space. We actually see how well you're using your touch information, your visual information, and then the information out of your inner ear based off of gravity, and how well you can actually tease those systems apart and then use them collaboratively together. We put you through a various battery of tests, watching things move back and forth, shaking your head, laying down in different positions, because your eyes and ears work very closely together to keep yourself oriented in space. And if we see dysfunction there, that lets us see that.
There's about 200 of these chambers in the United States. We have 4 of them. And University of Pittsburgh is one of the places that they're testing. The Rouville Center is another place. But the problem with those is they're doing research on the vestibular system in the brain, but they're not correlating to musculoskeletal injuries. And that's what we're doing here at Athletic Gaines.
Awesome.